Joined by Old Dominion head coach Blaine Taylor to his left, Ben Finney to his right, Frank Cassell and Darius James. We'll start with a opening statement from Coach Taylor and then open up for some questions.
Well, anytime you get into a tournament and you play somebody that played the day before, you got to kind of get that first game under your belt, and I thought we were pretty workmanlike in doing so. I told the guys at halftime I wasn't surprised that they got out of the gate a little quick. Usually the team that plays the day before has a little better rhythm, but I thought our guys came back real strong at it, and I think by the end of the day we kind of wore into them where we out-rebound them double digits. Did a nice job of kind of shutting down the three-point line in the second half. They're 4 for 14. We hold them to 33% in the second half. I thought we were proficient on offense at times. We had a couple stretches where I thought we could get done a little more, but we can play better than we did today. We'll probably have to, but we did enough. I thought the push towards the beginning of the game, I thought that Ben, in our minds we have some guys that are decent defensively, but we start all of our defensive game plans with who Ben guards and what defense we choose, and then we build around that. So I thought, he had a real strong first half, helped us get back in it. Of course, Frank was, tonight and just competed start to finish, and the guys make life easier on him, and he makes life easier on them. I thought, the Delaware had a nice tournament. Guys, they shoot the ball, from the three-point line, 8 for 21. But we did hold them, 4 for 14 in the second half, and I thought that was pretty important as we kind of slowed them down. The other thing that's very difficult to do is keep them off the free throw line. We didn't do a good enough job of that, and we're going to have to probably do that in the future in this tournament.
Blaine, midway through the second half, you're in kind of a taffy pull. I think you scored on 13 of your last 15 possessions, including your last 6. Is that just tournament experience talking there?
Yeah, I thought we had a stretch there where there was like 3 or 4 or 5 plays where we were just a pass or a catch or something away from, maybe having a separation. And I thought the kids got just a tad bit greedy, that it's right there, we can kind of sniff this thing out. And then we kind of settled down, and I thought the kids kind of reconnected to, a little bit better rhythm down the stretch. We took care of the ball down the stretch. We got good shots. And we had a number of guys. I thought the kids were just a tad bit anxious to score versus just scoring when it was the right time. And down the stretch, I thought we did a really nice job of executing. And anytime that happens, it's a team thing. But Darius obviously is a very settling influence on our team when we're trying to think through plays and face pressure and get the right guys some shots. But Ben did lead us in assists tonight. I thought he turned down some shots that turned into baskets for others.
Coach, Juwan Carter hit 4 threes in the first half and then only 1 in the second. You were talking about how stopping them at the three-point line in the second half was key for you. What exactly did you tell your team at halftime?
Well, I kind of likened it to when we played Cleveland State, and we had the one kid had 24 points at halftime, and we just got smarter as the game went. And we understand Juwan, but it's like you get told not to step out in the street until you get hit by a car once in a while. You just don't watch real close, and so we tightened that down a little bit. I thought we did a better job of finding him, contesting him, and the other thing you have to do is I thought we stayed on the floor for the most part because he's trying to lift you and jump into you, and so we contested the 3 and we avoided the perimeter fouls. He got to the interior a little bit, but for the most part we did a better job on him as the game wore on. And typically that's what we've done, is kind of educated ourselves during the course of the game and maybe got some of the latter questions answered better as the game went on, be it defensively or on the glass, or as David alludes to, some of the offensive sequence down the stretch of the game.
For any of the players, you guys played them 3 times. What makes them sort of a tough matchup? All the games were close.
I kind of thought the same question to myself. I guess matchups, I guess because they got pretty good shooters. I don't know what it is. But we beat them 2 out of the 3 times, and we walked in here looking for the win, so we got it, so we'll take that.
You can beat a team 3 times in a row. It's almost a blessing with this matchup that we'd kind of split during the year and had a couple of games that were in the balance. And so I don't think our kids were thinking, hey, all of a sudden we're this seed and they're that seed. When you get to this time, you got to recognize that the other guys they're excited, and this may be their last chance for romance.
Frank, as is often the case, there came a point in the second half when you were just imposing your will down low. Is there a point where you can sort of feel the defense's will break against you, and how much do you enjoy that?
Coach was calling some plays that get me isolated on the block. Kept screaming at me, get it deep, so I was really focused on getting it deep, and my teammates were really focused on looking for me. But if they would have collapsed on me and looking for the kick out, so we were just working the ball together, and I was at the end of the stick, and I kind of got all the layups, really.
Blaine and players right here.
Yeah.
You're going to make the NCAA tournament. Everybody seems to agree. So does that does that change? Does that change your? Are you at least 5% more relaxed, or what? And Frank, same question for you.
Ben,
I mean,
you answer that.
Ben.
I mean, are we relaxed about this tournament, thinking about next week?
No. First things first. We came in with high expectations on winning this tournament.
I think what we've done all year long is we don't really talk about the end of the year and what that holds, and we know that there's something out there now. You know, what color the carpet is, if it's red or whatever, you know, we know we're heading somewhere. And we kind of hold on to that thought maybe in the back of our minds, but we really don't talk about it. We've pretty much been a game at a time, a week at a time, trying to get the most out of this season. And then this tournament, I think, reflects maybe our modus operandi, where, you know, we want to get the most out of this tournament. And you know, I remember a year ago when we were in the championship game, I almost got this flavor where everybody thought, well, you know, ODU will go, and it was like everybody was starting to root for the other team. And I go, you know what? This tournament means just as much to our guys as the next guys. Don't think that there's some reason that we would take a step backwards. We want to step a step and a half forward.
Ben, you said first things first and take care of this week before looking ahead. But on the stage, in this postseason setting, both here and in the NCAAs, given your all's experience, how confident is this team in its ability to overcome, say, a 9-point first-half deficit like it did tonight, or late in the second half when it's tied?
I feel that we're confident. You know, we have a veteran group, and you know, most of our guys been in this type of environment and setting before, so I feel like that we're comfortable.
I think one of the keys of the game was when we settled down. We had 9 turnovers in the first half, and most of them the first 10 minutes. And I kind of joked at one time out. I said, well, everybody's kind of got that out of their system. Everybody kind of took their turn in the barrel. And we only have 3 turnovers in the second half. So I think one of the things that we did, you know, when you score, like you said, David, out of all those possessions at the end, that's where somebody like Darius can kind of settle us down. Some of our wings can kind of settle down their decision-making, make sure that we're not turning the ball over, getting it to Frank, make sure we're maybe the extra turn, the extra few passes. So you know, we were down to Notre Dame, 9 or 10. So when you can draw upon an NCAA experience when you're down perhaps double digits and still won, that's something pretty good to draw upon in terms from a confidence that you can do it.
Blaine, you said you build the defense around Finney every game, but Bazemore won Defensive Player of the Year. Do you think Bazemore's a better defender, or what are your thoughts on that?
What happens is Ben dives on the floor and gets us the ball, and Bazemore gets the dunk, and all you guys look at the dunk. No, he's kind of our blood and guts defender. He takes the strongest matchups, and usually Bazemore will bat second in the lineup on that tough matchup. And then, you know, what Baze does is you know, he kind of makes flashy plays, and I'm glad we got all of them. I mean, it's like we got, you know, a guy that gets on base all the time, a guy that moves them over, a guy that hits one against the wall, and then we got, you know, home run Hank. So we got all these kind of different guys, you know, that do different things. So in terms of comparing them, who's better, they're very different, but boy, they're a great yin and yang at the wing positions, because, you know, we matched up him with Sadler, excuse me, and we can put somebody like Bazemore on Carter, and then Darius is cerebral enough, savvy enough, he can guard small forwards at times. So we can go with a lot of different matchups.
Frank, there was points during the game where you and Finney would score 9 points together just without anybody else scoring, or 7 points. Was that just because you guys were feeling it, or is it senior experience?
I mean, we was basically open, I guess. We were playing unselfish basketball, and we knew that when the play presented itself to us, we was ready to make the play. We stepped in confident, no matter whether it was a hook shot, a three-pointer, a drive. We just playing with confidence, and we just used to the game. We used to playing with each other. So it wasn't no really, he look at me, I look at him, time to score. It was in the moment, you know what I mean, the play presented itself, and we took over. It could have been Kit in that position. Could have been Coop, you know what I mean? So